Welcome back in, everyone. We are expecting to see our first snow of the season in just a few short days. So that means a lot of people will be using those fireplaces more, those heating units. So we have Derek Urquhart, one of the assistant fire chiefs for South Bend, here in studio. How are you doing today, Eric? Derek?
I'm doing good.
Good. Derek, these safety reminders are so important. They really can never do them too much because you guys are constantly responding to house fires. And of course, with the changing seasons, you see different types of problems, right?
Yeah, so I mean, every day is different, every season is different. So where maybe last year we were talking about air conditioning units, now we're switching roles. So we want to make sure people are getting their heating units checked. So call a professional, make sure they're operating correctly and appropriately and efficiently, and make sure there's not going to be any concerns that you need to worry about heading into the winter months here.
Okay, I know a lot of people like to use those additional space heaters. That can be a source of some issues, right? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so space heaters, we see this, it's very common, whether it's in the workplace or at home. We want to make sure people are being very cautious with these. Read the directions, there's tags on all these, make sure you're plugging them in correctly. So what we want to see is directly into an outlet. So any kind of space heater should go directly to an outlet, no extension cords, no power strips. We want to take all that stuff out of play. So directly into an outlet, keeping some space around it. General consensus is 3 feet. So anything that's combustible, blankets, pillows, items,
the whole diameter,
keep
all the way around.
3 feet away from everything, so that way there's enough space. And then don't be leaving the home with them still running. So anytime you're going to leave the house, and don't sleep with them on either. So that's kind of a concern because something could happen while you're not aware.
So you think they are okay to use as long as you're following those steps?
Follow the guidelines, be safe while you're doing it. Like I said, use it to, if you need to warm up a home or warm up a room, and then unplug it once it gets up to an appropriate temperature for you. So.
Okay. Kitchen fires, still something you guys are seeing a lot of, right?
Kitchen fires, yes, that's still big. It's been big for the last few months. It seems like there's been a little bit of an uptick. So we're going into Thanksgiving, cooking, family gatherings. So be safe with that as well. Cooking is always an issue. Keep your countertops clear. Don't store anything on your stove top or in your stove for that matter. Another thing we've randomly seen, I took a phone call this last week. There was some concern about somebody using their oven to heat their home as well. So we do see some of those alternative means to try to warm up the home because maybe some other, your heating unit's not working appropriately.
Sure.
But obviously we don't like to see that. We do not recommend obviously using your oven to warm up your home. So
grease
please be
fires.
careful.
Yeah, grease fires can happen too, especially with the holidays. How do you handle a grease fire?
Grease fire, the biggest thing is don't do water. So obviously grease, be aware of the temperature. Always have a thermometer, keep a good reading on the grease. Once it gets up to temperature, stop heating it up, because if you continue to heat it past this temperature, it starts to smoke. That's when it's at a dangerous level. So cooking oil can spontaneously ignite without an outside ignition source. So keep the temperature where you need it to cook, but once it starts smoking, that's your indicator to shut it off and turn it down.
Not sure how many people do this, but I know some people in Texas that I went to school with would fry their turkeys outside. Yeah. You can do that, but you got to be careful with that as well, right?
Same thing. Make sure it's away.
Yeah.
Don't do it on your deck or your porch, your patio. Make sure it's away from everything, away from the home. And the biggest thing is your level. So obviously you don't want to account for the turkey going into the fryer with it spilling over the top. And make sure it's not frozen. So that's a big thing. That's when it's going to boil over.
Absolutely.
And cause a fire.
Real quick, this is also a good time of year to check your smoke detectors, your CO2 as well, right?
So yeah, carbon monoxide and smoke alarm. We just did a time change. That's always a good indicator. But we also say monthly. We walk by these daily. Just push the button. Make sure yours work. If you don't have them in your home, please get them. It could be a lifesaver when you need it.
Absolutely. These seem like little things, but they prevent big problems, right?
Correct. Like I said, items and things can be replaced. Obviously, life can't be, so we want to make sure everybody's protected and that we can make sure that they can get out of the home in case of a fire.
All right. Thank you, Chief Urquhart. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.